Happy divisional round weekend to you. We are live from the Rec Room in downtown Buffalo, New York. It's Western New York. We got snow that's coming down sideways. It's going to be in the chills tonight with the expected forecast at game time tomorrow in the negatives with wind chill. Would you want it any other way for a do-or-die playoff game? And you already know the drill, having watched the first of two games today and what the ultimate outcome was. We'll get to all the specifics there and the officials in just a bit. But what we know is you take care of business tomorrow, and it's a second consecutive AFC Championship game against the Kansas City Chiefs, and this time it'll be at Arrowhead. Welcome inside the channel. I'm Bobby Trosset, and as always, this is where I bring you Baltimore sports and beyond. We are going beyond tonight, and cheers to that. Downtown Buffalo. So pleased to be here, courtesy of BMORE Around Town and Brian Snyder and his tremendous group. Oh, man, you guys got to go check out BMOREAroundtown.com for more. There's Orioles spring training coming up. You've got Caps, different experiences for hockey. And, of course, maybe, just maybe, next week in Kansas City, you can work with Brian Snyder. You can get involved. Every single itinerary piece will be taken care of, including the travel and accommodation. And, of course, let me just show you and catch you up to speed on what my last 12 hours has been like. It didn't take that long to get to Buffalo, but this morning at 7:30, that was our call time to the park and ride in White Marsh, right off of Honeygo Boulevard, and led by our awesome bus driver, Charlie. We made our way up to Buffalo, and here we are. We pulled in just after 3 o'clock, staying at a resort and casino just outside of the downtown area, and here tonight having a blast so far at Rec Room. Tomorrow, of course, we'll have wall-to-wall pregame coverage beginning in the 2 o'clock hour from Danny's South, which is about 0.2 of a mile from Highmark Stadium, where this game and ultimately who represents the AFC Championship opponent-wise going up against the Kansas City Chiefs coming up next weekend. You hear Brian Snyder in the background. He's addressing the crowd. What an awesome experience it's been thus far. And I appreciate you guys for all the support along the way. By the way, just in case anybody, by the way, Channel 2 is apparently here, WMAR. That's what Brian Snyder's saying in the background right now. But let me tell you this, just in case those that might be asking or might be wondering, I want all the smoke. All right, you guys know this. My loyalty is neutral. I'm not a fan. I've said that time and time again, but I'm committed to doing what Sarah and I do on a daily basis all year round for you, and that is bringing you daily Ravens coverage all year long. With that said, I want all the smoke. You got a few members of Bill's Mafia that are coming after me on social media, and I'm in a cook mode right now. All right? And you want to know when I get protective? When Bill's Mafia starts coming after you guys. Because while my loyalty may not lie where yours does and where your allegiances do, I still have a heart for you guys. And I've been having a whole lot of fun. It is Smoke Bobby Baltimore on the road, and I look forward to all that and more coming up over the next 24-plus hours. Let's get into the content, shall we? I appreciate you guys for being here. If you haven't already done so, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. I will tell you this, boots have been on the ground since this afternoon. But I can tell you, without question, that thus far, Ravens flock has a presence here. Ravens flock can be felt, it can be heard, and you can just kind of feel what's happening right now. And I think Kyle noted this perfectly right now, according to TickPick. Ravens flock is not messing around, and I know they travel well. 13% of tickets for Ravens Bills were bought by Marylanders, according to Kyle. And as he notes here, after looking at the graph, there's a good chance that other states, includes mostly Ravens fans from the D.C. area and down south. I will also mention, I know Admirals Cup is certainly the hub for Bills fans in Baltimore, and I know there's plenty of Buffalo people that have transplanted and relocated to the Baltimore area. But make no mistake about it, I think you guys understand what's at stake. You understand the magnitude of the moment, and you can see that by what's going on right here in the background. This place is jumping right now. Brian Snyder. Take a look, guys. This is unbelievable. Look at this. We got a DJ in the back right now. This place is jumping. You guys hearing this? You guys hearing this? Need we say any more, guys? Need we say any more? This place is jumping. And we have our first guest of the evening. Man, we talked about this, didn't we?
We did.
We did. Well, that was quite a start to the evening, now wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Goodness gracious. Please introduce yourself to my audience tonight, if you could.
Okay, my name is LaTanya Parker Watts, and I am originally from Annapolis, Maryland, but I currently live in Odenton now.
Okay, so you're in Odenton, originally from Annapolis, and here we are in Western New York. It's supposed to drop 20 degrees over the next few hours.
I'm ready.
Matter of fact, on our way over here, and for those who don't know, we're in downtown Buffalo. We're staying outside of it. I felt that temperature change already.
But it's okay. I'm ready.
Absolutely.
I have foot warmers and hand warmers.
I can tell you're over-prepared, and it adds to the spectacle, though, right? When you bring in this gnarly Western New York weather, it adds to the spectacle. Look at this. You think people in here are worried about the cold? I don't think there's going to be one person tomorrow that's playing on the gridiron that's worried a damn about the cold.
Not at all. As a matter of fact, I read that Lamar is not even wearing gloves. He said, I'm fine.
I read that as well.
He said, I will be fine. I do not need gloves. He said, shout out to the people who need gloves, but not me. I will be fine. So
time will tell, right?
No, I'm not even worried at all.
I love it.
Lamarvelous is ready, and so is King Henry. We are ready.
I love the confidence. This thing is sweet too, by the way. Where'd you get that?
I know, right? I got it as a gift from my sister. She gave it to me.
And you fit it well too. You're toned. Look at you go. I mean, come on. I was gonna say the tone is popping through.
Thank you, Live Now Fitness.
Hey, absolutely, absolutely. Have you thought about a score prediction?
I hope that we repeat the score from the
35-10.
Game. Absolutely, from the games from the very first time that we met with them.
Yeah.
I hope that we repeat that. That's
35-10. Boy,
absolutely.
Oh boy.
35-10 looks amazing to me.
Your lips to God's ears, huh?
Absolutely. I don't have to worry about that. It's okay. It's consider it done.
You know, it's going to be interesting to see. For me, right out of the gate, I want to see who's going to control the time of possession. If the Ravens can establish an identity on the ground early, just like they did in September for that game that you're referencing, do you remember that first play of that game?
Oh, absolutely.
87 yards to the house. They had no answer, Buffalo's defensive front, for that opening. It was an opening wham. Offensive line perfectly protected Derrick Henry. He found the lane, burst in for 6. The rest is history. They didn't look back from there.
Absolutely. But you know what? And if it doesn't pan out that way initially, but we will bend, but we will not break. And so we will be okay, right?
I love it.
So our defense will step up because our defense has accepted the challenge to say, hey, they were called out initially at the beginning of the season, and they accepted the challenge, and they said, I tell you this, we will not lose this championship. And I believe them. And the offense has stepped up, and they have done everything that they needed to do to execute. King Henry, Lamarvelous, we are locked in, and we are focused. I love how Lamar was saying, hey, I don't even want to talk to my mother, and I love her dearly. He said, but Mom, I can't talk to you right now. I'm just waiting for the game. And I know he's anticipating the game right now.
I think we can all get behind that. Even I'm sure Miss Felicia Jones is like, listen.
Absolutely.
I told you what you needed to hear after that December 1st Eagles game.
Because
that's for sure.
Absolutely. But she has prepared him for all of this. Because you know what? A black mama is something that y'all cannot even explain. I can tell you that. I can tell you that.
You know, that's not a thing, right? It's that aspect of it. And then you think about since day one, Right when they asked him to be a punt returner at practice at one point,
and he said,
way back in college.
Yes.
Felicia's on the phone with Bobby Petrino right after that saying,
she said, my son's a quarterback.
Me.
Absolutely.
Excuse me. And since then, obviously, every step of the way, he has shredded every single label.
And it's really surprising because initially when he came into college in Louisville, he was the backup. And then the second year that he was there, he won the Heisman.
Yes.
That just speaks volumes.
Yes,
now,
it does.
I don't know whether the coaching staff cannot recognize talent or what the problem was there. But I'm just telling you, when he was presented with his opportunity, he stepped up and he showed them who he was. At 100%, he goes, listen, I am here and this is who I am. And initially, when we drafted Hayden Hurst over Lamar, I was like, done. I was done. Because where's Hayden Hurst right now?
Well, you know what, though? And you're right. You're absolutely right. What I always love to remind folks on that, J.K. Dobbins would have never come to Baltimore if it weren't for the Hayden Hurst trade.
Absolutely.
Because they used that second-round pick that they acquired to go get J.K. Now, obviously, J.K.'s career in the end of things in Baltimore was a disappointment solely based on not talent, availability.
Absolutely.
He was just so banged up. But, man, they will always, forever look back at that 2018 draft class, Ozzie Newsome's last, right before Eric DeCosta took over.
But I think
legacy defining.
But understood. But I think Lamar was DeCosta's decision. I don't think that was an Ozzie Newsome. Ozzie Newsome's pick was Hayden Hurst. DeCosta stepped in and said, "Hey, what about let's do something?" And I think Ozzie facilitated and assisted DeCosta in doing the deal to allow Lamar to get that deal with the Eagles so we could get that 32nd pick, so we could get Lamar.
Collaborative effort.
The collaborative effort. But that was a defining moment for DeCosta, and I really think that just showed who he was. And I just applaud that decision. And because initially, based on the information that we were given, we were told we were not going to draft a quarterback. And then when that decision was made, it was just monumental. And now looking back on it, it was epic. Like, we have never had a two-time MVP for the Ravens organization. And look at this, possibly a third. Possibly a third. Based off, if they go on stats alone, it would be a three-time MVP decision. But we will see.
And based on last week's All-Pro voting,
yes,
it certainly leads you to believe that come February, the first week of February, ballots were due last week, but come the first week of February, he will be honored with MV3. Let me get you out of here on this.
Absolutely.
Let's just say, in theory, or we can just speak it into existence right now.
Well, we're going to claim this.
That this time next week, we're all in Kansas City. Let's say that's the case. Give your pitch to my audience with 782 people watching right now. Why they should travel with BMORE around town. What's your experience been so far?
My experience with BMORE Town is phenomenal. They will take care of you. They will ensure that the Ravens are truly represented. And so I wholeheartedly support BMORE around town.
Perfect.
And so, and we're going to bring home that win. With the support of BMORE around town, it will bring enough Ravens to the stadium to say, hey, we'll start cheering. We'll start that. That's our Ravens mantra. That's it.
You know it, and they're going to have that national anthem ready to go tomorrow too. Maybe just maybe Baltimore City will have a glimpse of hearing that depending on how loud they are tomorrow in Orchard Park, right down the road from where we are right now.
When they go in that national anthem, and do you not know that Zay, and then when he goes in the home of that, he goes Ravens.
That's right. That's right.
I know people don't really hear that, but I heard it the one time, and I was like, okay, Lil Zay.
It is uniquely Baltimore, isn't it?
Okay, Lil Zay. We with the O and the and the home of the Ravens. I love it.
Uniquely Baltimore.
I love it.
As are you. I really appreciate you coming on tonight. Have an awesome evening.
We can say uniquely Baltimore, but I'm originally from Annapolis, Maryland. So, hey.
Yes, thank you.
I got shout out to Annapolis, Maryland.
And you said that off the top.
Shout out to Neptown.
And how about the win for those mids, baby? Oh, my goodness.
Absolutely.
I mean, that wasn't even close earlier last month.
Yes.
Of course, talking about Army-Navy, which was played this year in Landover.
Yeah.
Have an awesome time tonight. I'll catch up with you after I'm off the show.
Alrighty.
All right. Sounds good. We're here live from Rec Room in downtown Buffalo, New York. You can just go ahead and throw that right over there.
Alrighty.
I'm sure it's going to be a revolving door at that chair throughout tonight. So you're my first of many guests.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys for being with me tonight, and appreciate Brian Snyder and his tremendous team here at BMORE Around Town. Let's keep the conversation moving because, as I just mentioned, Ravens Nation, you can already kind of feel the Ravens flock presence. You can hear the Ravens flock presence, and of course, everybody understands what's at stake. It's the 2 versus 3 seed. It's the top MVP frontrunner candidates. It's a trip to the AFC Championship, which is what we now know in Kansas City. The most wins in a 7-season span without reaching the Super Bowl. This includes the playoffs throughout the Super Bowl era, which goes back to 1966. Look at where the Bills and Ravens are. Of course, Josh and Lamar were 2018 draft classmates. And while they have done a lot in the regular season, they are still waiting to get past that AFC Championship round. Both players have been to one. Appreciate you, man. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you. Just got a burger dropped off. Appreciate that. I'll show you guys real quick. The fries look unreal, man. I think he said if it's not pink. Let's see what we got here. Take a look, Arn. Well, what an awesome call that was. Representing Annapolis really well. As I was saying, though, these two have obviously, let me tell you, by the way, I'll tell you about the bartender later on, okay? You're going to want to hear that story. Told her to come on the show. This statistic to me is, This statistic to me is really interesting because as much as these two quarterbacks have been so prolific, they're both waiting to get past this era's Tom Brady. Look at this statistic right here. I mean, the most wins in a seven-season span without reaching the Super Bowl. The Bills and the Ravens with 83 and 81 respectively. It just speaks to what these two quarterbacks have done since being drafted in the same class of 2018, but it also speaks to what's been their kryptonite in the postseason, and that is getting past Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. It's the only playoff quarterback matchup before the Super Bowl between top two candidates in MVP voting. The only other time, by the way, that's happened, Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. So I think we all need to kind of appreciate the moment of what this is, what this represents, and how the entire NFL world will be locked in on what's going on right now. I'm going to go back to the in-person guest lines, and I promise we are going to get to what Chris Long, former Eagles Super Bowl champion, had to say about Lamar Jackson's comments regarding Josh Allen in just a bit. But back to the guest lines we go.
How you doing?
Remind me your name.
Brian McCulley.
Brian McCulley?
Yeah.
You're on Bobby Baltimore here in downtown Buffalo.
How you doing, boss?
It's great to see you, Brian.
Right.
Appreciate you. How's your experience so far?
Well, I'll tell you what. Wife and I just moved back to the States. We've been gone for about 10 years. And
where at?
We went to Belize. We moved to Belize.
Oh, no kidding. Okay.
Yeah. And right before we went, we would go out with BMORE around town, Baltimore, go to all their games and stuff out to Cleveland and even some of the baseball games. So as soon as we moved back, the first thing I did was hook up with Brian and say, hey, when's the next great party? And he says, wait for the playoffs. So here we are.
And here we are.
Oh, my God. This is insane.
So just to give everybody a mood setter, I know it's a little dark from behind us, but I just went big screen so you can see.
Oh, Lord.
This doesn't even do it justice, Brian. As you know, when you go down the hall to the speakeasy section,
it's packed.
I mean,
it's packed. You got to come out here for air.
And the only reason why we didn't get set up in there is because nobody could have heard themselves think. I mean, can you guys hear the music back there?
Absolutely. It's incredible.
It's pumping. So, okay, so you guys are newly back from Belize.
Right.
You got to be feeling this infectious spirit right now with this team. You can already tell, as I was telling folks, Ravens Nation has traveled well, and they've traveled well 24 hours early, it seems.
It seems like every year more and more and more people travel. It's not going to be next year. I think we're going to go to the Super Bowl this year. Just my prediction, okay? We're going to go to the Super Bowl. I'm not going to give a prediction about what happens at the Super Bowl, but I think we're going to get there.
Yeah.
And I think starting next year, you're going to see a quarter to a half of a stadium away Ravens fans. It's already getting out of hand.
And you know what happens, too? I think the Chiefs have seen this. When you start winning Super Bowls, in their case, plural, the Ravens want to win one first with Lamar.
Right.
You really start to go global.
It's incredible. Lamar Jackson, as soon as he came on, you saw a shift. I think it was with that Joe Flacco, and everybody just kind of went down a little bit, even though he won us the Super Bowl. Everybody just kind of went down. But as soon as Lamar started going, everything started pumping up. Everything started rising up. And I think now, this year is our time. I think it is. I believe it is.
Let's talk more about Lamar. And I want to play a clip from Chris Long, former Philadelphia Eagles defensive end, who now has a fantastic podcast.
Great player, too.
It's called Greenlight. He was a hell of a player.
Great player.
But he understands quarterback play because he tried to stop it
for
all of his years up against the defensive front.
Yeah.
And what he reacted to today were comments that Lamar Jackson made this week about Josh Allen that went stupid viral. And I'm sure you've seen that.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
I have all the respect in the world for Josh Allen. I don't chill with other quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And I thought that there was something, and maybe you can speak to this because this is probably more about your generation, the MJ Bulls generation in the 80s and 90s, where it was so refreshingly old school in this participation trophy, everybody feels warm and fuzzy era that we're living in. For Lamar to sit up there, and Detroit takes the lead over Washington right now with under 8 minutes left in the second quarter. Sam Laporta scores 13-10 pending the pat.
No.
I just loved it. I really appreciated it. And I thought that Chris Long getting chills from it will give us chills. Listen to this. We'll react to it on the other side.
Sure.
Chris Long, former Philadelphia.
This week, Lamar. You know, they asked him, you hang out with Josh in the offseason. He says, the offseason, I don't really chill with people in the offseason, especially other QBs. Don't get me wrong, it's not a problem or anything like that, but I'm trying to beat you. I'm competing with you. And they said, when you get older, we guys laugh about this. And I got chills watching Lamar deliver his answer because it is the most game time fucking answer. And the way he said it, look at his mannerisms, look at his eyes when he says this. He goes, when we're older, I'll probably laugh about it, but right now it's serious. He goes, I ain't laughing with you at all. And his eyes dart around the room. And everybody playing at this stage is dead serious about the game that they have in front of them. But with Lamar, I think he's so fucking tired of the narratives, whether it's, hey, in the postseason he can't win, or growing up hearing he's not a passer, to last year hearing, hey, run more. I think he's just tired of it all. And you know what? The people that say he hasn't gotten it done in the postseason will be right. He hasn't. But he's got a big opportunity this weekend to cement another MVP. Because if you win the MVP and you lose this game, I'm pretty sure he's not happy. This is the game for the MVP in people's hearts and minds, right? He can win the MVP, but this game is what matters to him. And I just think it's going to be an incredible game. It's going to be cold as hell.
Former NFL defensive end Chris Long, host of the Greenlight podcast, had this to say. And, of course, it was in reaction to these comments right here. And Sarah transcribed part of them. I don't really chill with people in the offseason, especially not other QBs. Don't get me wrong, there's no problem, but we're competing against each other. Like, I'm trying to beat you. I'm not trying to be your friend. And then Chris says, I got chills watching Lamar deliver his answer because it is the most game time effing answer. Everybody playing at this stage is dead serious about the game they have in front of them. But with Lamar, I think he's so effing tired of the narratives. Brian, he has shredded every single label, every single narrative that is attached to him. All he has left to do is become a consistent postseason player. And guess what? The numbers show you over the last
Absolutely.
3 compared to the first 4,
Yeah.
he is trending in the right direction.
And he's
what are
still
your
a young
thoughts?
man. He's still a young man.
What are your thoughts?
You know, and for a young man to come out and respond in that exact position without hesitation was incredible. And it wasn't just Ravens fans or that followed this. This was whole NFL followed what he said, and it was just the most sincere, smart thing. Everybody knows this is back in when you were playing in high school. If you knock the guy down, don't help him up. He's not your friend right now. He's not. We play football to knock that guy down, to tackle that guy, whatever you got to do. You don't help him up. After the game, you can give him a hug. In the shower, you can, okay, who cares? But not during the game. Not before you play the guy. He's not your friend right now.
Tell him, Brian.
Yeah, Josh Allen is without a doubt one of the best quarterbacks alive, right?
No doubt.
But he's not my friend either.
Nope.
And I'll talk to him after the game, but before the game, ain't a chance in hell. No, I ain't going to have it.
And you already know that Lamar, look, you can talk about 0 dark 30 and go in tunnel vision as much as you want.
Right.
We're living in a social media age. He sees,
Blowing it up.
hears, and is sent, I'm sure, most of this.
I've just seen in the last 3 years him mature, let's call it. I hate using that word. Mature as a quarterback. This was an immediate answer to an immediate question, and you knew he meant it. He meant it. He was sincere, and it was a perfect answer.
No
It was
question.
absolutely perfect.
Well said by you as well.
Right.
I want to next go to something that his opponent said, okay, and that is Ed Oliver, who is a Bills defensive tackle who had a rough showing against the King if you go back to week 4 in September. Brian, the way that I want to set this up is when Derrick Henry was acquired on day 2 of free agency last March, you started to kind of hear the Shaq and Kobe comparisons.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then it started to kind of make its way from local to regional to national media. When the opponent, meaning one of his peers, actually makes a similar comparison, that to me holds more weight.
Yeah, he didn't say it. They didn't say it. NFL said it.
Absolutely.
NFL put it there.
Well, guess who's saying it now?
Who's that?
Ed Oliver,
Ed.
who's a defensive
There you
tackle
go.
for the Buffalo Bills.
There you
Listen
go.
to this, guys, from earlier this week.
Difficult it is to deal with a guy like Lamar, where the play is never over. Kind of like Josh, for that matter.
Our coach had a coach said something that really stuck with me, and he was like, he's like Kobe Bryant, and like how you can't necessarily stop Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant's gonna get his at some point, and that was a great analogy. Lamar's gonna get his at some point, and we know that, and everybody knows that, and everybody watching knows that. We just have to limit him, but he's gonna get his. We all know that. We all aware. We're not ignorant to the fact, but he is. Matt, our D-line coach, kind of made that analogy. If he like Kobe, he gonna get his, So, he basically, what he said was he's a one-off player, basically kind of like Kobe, and Kobe's gonna get his. You can try to limit him, but at some point, Kobe's gonna get him.
Touchdown Commanders, Terry McLaurin, who is as savvy as a veteran as you will see around the league, who did his time, boy. The amount of quarterbacks that he played. And how about Washington takes the lead?
Yeah.
16-14 with just over 6 minutes left in the second quarter. Let's take a look at the route here. There's a bunch package on the left-hand side, and he just splits the defenders. Jaden gets to him on a quick hitter, and Terry does the rest. Scary Terry in the house for 6.
You're not going to catch him. You're not going to catch him.
What a play.
Look right through him.
Look at Terry go.
You're not going to catch him.
Man, I'm not sure I'm happier for anybody across the league than that guy right there because of the bullshit that he dealt with throughout the Dan Snyder era.
And he did it without whining and crying.
No doubt.
And I want to
No
trade
doubt.
me or trade me. He's a class guy.
Let's get back to this. Ed Oliver, you see his comments right there on the screen. His defensive line coach essentially said, to paraphrase here, he's Kobe Bryant. It's just it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when he's going to get his.
This is going to be, couldn't have said it better. This is Lamar's time. I think this is what, first of all, he's going to get the MVP. So he'll be back-to-back MVPs. I think he's going to get a Super Bowl ring this year. I'm hoping and praying he's going to get it this year. I know we're going to the Super Bowl. I was so happy when Kansas City won today because I want to make sure Lamar goes and spanks him up in Kansas City. That's going to be the Super Bowl for Lamar, beating Kansas City in Kansas City and letting Patrick Mahomes know who is the Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, you know what? If they end up in New Orleans, and I'll tell you what, my shit's booked for New Orleans.
I already got a house.
I'm gonna. Oh, good.
I got a house
Well,
there.
we'll be in touch then, because I'll be working Radio Row, so it'll be a business trip. But you know, there's always, you never know, Brian.
I look forward.
I'm
looking forward to it.
But I'll tell you what, if they end up there, it will have been earned. They will have been through their division bitter rival. They will have been through one of the top front-runner MVP candidate quarterbacks on the road in a hostile, cold environment. And, of course, they'll have been through a potential three-peat champion.
And I'm glad, you know, it's going to be a win for the Ravens, but it's also going to be a win for their fans. You know, the fans have been waiting for this. The fans need this. It's just the right time for the fans, the city of Baltimore, the state of Maryland, and Lamar Jackson.
Prediction time, Brian, before we get you out of here.
30-27. I think Justin Tucker's going to hit a 57-yard field goal to win the game just to, you know, he struggled this year. Just to smile at everybody, walk off the field, and we get to go home happy.
You heard it here first.
Yes, sir.
Brian, it was awesome meeting you, man.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy yourself. We'll catch up once I finish up.
I appreciate you,
All right, sounds good.
Okay.
And let everybody know who you're talking to out there, that this is an open line, baby.
You bet.
Let everybody know it's a revolving door. Anybody wants to give their prediction, let's do it.
Absolutely.
All right, Brian, enjoy yourself. Appreciate you guys for being here. 30-27. Brian calls his shot. Let me see what you guys think. We got some super chats that have come in here as well. And for those that are just chiming in and just tuning in tonight, we're here at a very club-like environment in the rec room in downtown Buffalo, just a few miles away from Highmark Stadium. Craven the Bunter says the Ravens better win. No excuse. No one cares if Zay isn't playing because neither Ravens fans or the media has treated the injury as a needle mover. Tongsley drops in a $20 super chat tonight and writes, the Texans didn't implode in the cold Kansas City weather, and neither will Baltimore tomorrow. I responded to that troll on X. I got your back, Bobby. For those who aren't aware, just go take a look at Bobby Baltimore on X, and you'll find Nicky Boy, who's in a body bag. Come on down, man. Next up, we got one more super chat to get through. Jeremiah Hoagland drops in a $20 spot tonight and says, I haven't seen such a love fest by the refs for a team since the 90s and Duke basketball. The league should be embarrassed. And I will add on to that before we get your thoughts. It's Josh, correct?
That's right.
Josh, good to have you on. I will tell you this. Tonight and so many other instances, and I am always, and my audience knows this, I am never the one to say boo-hoo and whine about officiating.
I know.
But I will say this. Tonight took away from the integrity of that contest. You had multiple instances that should have been instant replay reviews when it comes to roughing the passer, personal fouls, head contact. It was ridiculous. It changed the course of that game. And the only thing they got right tonight was not calling the flop on Patrick Mahomes as he was going out of bounds.
Well,
that's my thoughts.
That's what we call home cooking.
Home cooking.
Home cooking. And they've got some chefs there in Kansas City that cook up some real good barbecue. So that's for sure. That's
neither here nor there.
But
what we know is
that's all right. And was any of that unexpected? Probably not.
Nope.
So it is what it is. It's kind of par for the course. Okay. The Texans outgained them yardage-wise by a lot and somehow found a way to lose the game. But I think most people will not be surprised by the outcome.
You know what? Let's cut to the chase. This is the path you want, right? Because we all know the media-driven business. If Houston, for whatever reason, walked out of Kansas City tonight with an upset win, meaning the Ravens would have, if they won tomorrow, as Washington goes back-to-back touchdowns.
Wow. Pretty good matchup in the NFC.
This is a hell of a matchup. Quan Martin takes it in for a pick six.
Those Commanders are about to be up by 10.
Was that a pick six or was that a block punt?
I think that was a pick six.
Pick six on Jared Goff. All right, let's take a look. So Jared Goff, no one in the backfield, looking left, throws it into double coverage.
What are you doing?
Overthrows his receiver, and Quan Martin takes it to the house. What a change in momentum
Gut shot.
in Detroit right now. A PAT away as they kick right now from being 10-point leaders, which they are,
Gut shot.
with over 5 minutes left to go
Wow.
in the second quarter.
Wow.
We'll get you updates there from the other NFC divisional round game. As we were saying, this is the way you want it. We know what would happen narrative-wise if for whatever reason Houston were to have upset them and the Ravens take care of business tomorrow night. We all would have watched that. I don't want to live in that world. Do you?
You want to be the champ, you got to beat the champ. That's the way we want it. And having to go in there, obviously got to take care of business tomorrow. I'm not overlooking what happens on Sunday. Whatever happens on Sunday is what happens. But, whoever wants to win the ring has to go through Kansas City, and that's just the fact of the matter. And I think most people expected that, and that's what needs to be done. So,
Josh,
feel pretty confident.
Let's reset, make sure everybody knows what you're up to, where you're from. I believe you said Oklahoma City.
That's right. I actually do some sports radio in Oklahoma City. I've been a Ravens fan since I was 13.
Where'd that come from?
I felt like the world really pushed me to become a Dallas Cowboy fan, and I was like, hold on, wait a second.
The world or geography?
Well, both. Both.
You guys are the heart of college football.
It's
all
geographically. It's all college
the closest
football.
protein.
Dallas.
Okay.
Dallas.
So geography and also their ridiculous, suffocating fan base pushed you in that direction.
Right.
And you Derrick Henry'd them.
Pittsburgh style on Minka Fitzpatrick. Yeah, absolutely. And that was the motivation. And I couldn't stand the Cleveland Browns. I thought they were a disgusting team, look-wise, everything. And then in '96, they, of course, they moved to Baltimore, flipped it, had some great players with Jonathan Ogden and Ray Lewis. I took to it and totally adopted them. I was telling people before 2000 that they would win the Super Bowl, and they ultimately did. And so I've been a Ravens fan ever since. I've been to Super Bowl 47 in New Orleans 12 years ago. It was the highlight of my life. And me and my dad went, and it was amazing.
Do you have any accommodations set for this year?
Not yet. And it was so amazing back in the day, 12 years ago, that I don't know if it can be topped. But I can promise you this: if the Ravens win tomorrow on Sunday, I will be in Kansas City. So that's one thing I can promise you.
Look right in that goddamn camera.
Listen, let me say it like this.
All right.
I will be in Kansas City next week.
Listen, the Oklahoma twang is absolutely chef's kiss.
Well, good.
It's just the slightest little, as Bill Raftery says, kiss.
Yeah.
Just the slightest kiss.
I like what I like, and I've been that way since I was 13. I'm 41 now. Been a Ravens fanatic since then, and I've been to a ton of Ravens games in Baltimore. I love the atmosphere. I love the people, and I couldn't miss being here in Buffalo and experiencing what the Bills Mafia has to offer, and just the whole atmosphere.
I'm going to get you out of here on this. I have a point that I'm going to make, and then I'm going to let you think about this for a second because I want your prediction. You just made me think of something. So you think about your game prediction. I'm going to make this point about Bills Mafia. Just like every fan base across the globe, all it takes is a few rotten eggs. And what do I mean by that? The vocal minority, whether they're racist, whether they're obnoxious, whether they're doing illegal bullshit, whatever it is, right? All it takes is a couple people. And there's a few of Bills Mafia members that are doing exactly that in the Twitter space, for example.
Of course. Always.
And that ruins it. But I think we need to be mindful of the fact that they're not representative of the collective.
Thank you.
And what's interesting about this, and I think I can speak on this as a upstate New York native, somebody that spent a great deal of time in this area and has spent the last 10-plus years in Baltimore. There's so many similarities between the two towns. between the two organizations, between the two cities, between the two fan bases, the blue-collar mentality that maybe, just maybe, out of pure similarity, almost like a sibling relationship, that there's a little bit of friction. I think at the end of the day, there's a lot of a collective appreciation for both parties, and I don't think we should take the vocal minority and run with them as representative for speaking on behalf of the group.
And it's easy to do if you pay attention to the social media platforms and all the different stuff. 100%. And that's not been my experience this weekend in Buffalo. I feel like the Buffalo fans have been gracious, accommodating. Now, I've heard it's a different reaction on game day, which rightfully so. I totally agree. So, but you're right. I think that there's some similarities in just culture and different things like that.
Not to cut you off here, but this is an insane game right now. Detroit, literally less than a minute and a half later,
Jamison Williams.
They now put 6 up on the board. Jamison Williams is 24-20 pending the PAT with just over 4 minutes left to go in the second quarter. This one's got a shootout written all over it.
Absolutely, and we expect nothing less in the NFL playoffs.
Holy hell. Give us your prediction on your way out.
Well, I'm going to you know what? I think the Ravens by 10. It could be
current 1.5 point.
I'm going to say 20-10. I think the Bills are going to struggle offensively.
Okay.
I really do believe that. And it's nothing against Josh Allen. I think he's an amazing quarterback, but I think if you cut the head off the snake, the rest will die. And Josh Allen is without question the head of the snake to this team, and I think you take him out of the equation, the Ravens are going to have a really good shot to win, and I don't think anybody can really stop the Ravens offense with the Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry factor. It's pick your poison. How do you want to die? Is it by the hand of Lamar Jackson? Is it by the hand of Derrick Henry? Your choice. Your choice. And so I think they're going to play a little bit of that game. But I like the Ravens 20-10 final score. And before I get out of here, I got to shout out my home station, KINB, FM 105.3, Oklahoma City Sports Radio. Back home, appreciate you. And it's good to meet you guys and talk some sports for a while.
Josh, I'm really, really glad you came on, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Enjoy yourself. Hopefully
Absolutely.
I'll be off the show in just a bit. And then we can enjoy.
Well, come have a cold Pepsi on me.
You know what I was going to ask you, actually, and to be honest with you, I've already cracked that code.
All right,
Do you have a wristband? Are you part of the all-inclusive night? Are you part of the open bar?
I have not. No,
Okay,
I've been purchasing my own Pepsis, which is okay.
I was going to berate somebody that's got the open bar wrist to get me a rum and coke, but since you're not a part of that, I'm going to choose somebody else.
I'll still get you one.
Don't worry about it. Josh, I appreciate you, man. Enjoy yourself.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
And your score was what?
20-10.
20-10.
Baltimore.
All right, my friend. Josh,
Awesome.
great meeting you, man. Enjoy yourself. We're here at Rec Room in downtown Buffalo, and yes, I'm drinking. 30-10 is this guest chair is busy tonight. Come on on. Absolutely. No, come on. Let's go. Let's get you in here. Take that headset. We're gonna talk. We're gonna walk and talk here, as they say. We're gonna walk and talk. What we're gonna do is, because there's been so many guests on tonight, we're gonna do content and questions. Okay. And we're gonna say hello to your boys too. Just try to get us on Instagram story. Maybe he's not looking. Okay. All right.
We'll get him.
All right.
Hey, Drew.
You're good. So the current spread, Baltimore 1.5 point favorites on the road. As Elena wrote here, coming into this week, the Bills haven't been favored in 42 consecutive, have been favored in 42 consecutive home games. That's the longest active streak across the NFL, including the playoffs. And what we should note about this, just from a Vegas perspective, keep in mind, the books view this as probably, if it were to be a neutral site or in Baltimore, as maybe a 5 to 6 point advantage for the Ravens, because that's what happens when you're the home team. I should say Buffalo is getting the benefit of doubt in a sense from Vegas. So just keep that in mind. It might be 1.5, and maybe it moves between now and 6:30.
Right.
But 1.5 in Baltimore is probably looking more in like 5 or 6.
Bobby, when I first saw that spread,
Yeah.
it opened up with Baltimore being the underdogs, and then it changed.
Yes.
Then it changed to Ravens being the favorite by 1.5, and I was like, "It's crazy."
Yes.
Being a road dog or like being on the road and being favored in Buffalo,
Yeah.
with these 8-degree temperatures, I was like, I don't know about that.
Well, as we all know, in the last couple hours, this game is insane right now.
Dude, it keeps going back and forth.
It might be the first to 60.
It's nonstop.
I mean, all of a sudden, the Commanders are literally first and goal.
I know. And we don't know if Jared Goff is coming back.
Detroit just scored. Like, we need to put the TV over here so I can try and go play-by-play of what's happening in this absurd game.
Right.
But Jade Daniels lighting it up. Jared Goff's lighting it up, even though he threw a pick 6. And it's 24-21 at the 2-minute warning. I digress.
Speaking of spreads, I mean, the over-under for that game was like at 54.
Well, that's going to get shattered. Shattered.
Clearly, yeah.
Shattered.
Absolutely.
So we've talked about the weather. We've talked about the spread. What we haven't talked about probably enough is this storyline right here. And earlier today, Jeremy Fowler talking about Zay Flowers essentially said that yesterday's workout, which the team posted, as you see here, the screenshot of, went better than they would have thought.
So
how notable is that? I'm not going to say it's all that notable. We'll take a look at it right here. While Zay is moving nicely here laterally, there's no pads and he's not going full speed. As you can see, there's a knee brace on the right-hand side, on the right leg. And so he is listed as doubtful.
There's a clear lag in his step right there.
There is a little bit of a lag, but nothing that jumps off the page at you.
If he can play, even if we wouldn't target him a lot, just to have him out
there. They had, it was just a multitude of dudes. And while that worked out against Pittsburgh, we know that when Zay is out there, this team just adds another element of explosiveness, another element of speed. And so what I think we saw yesterday, to be honest with you, was game ending, barring something unforeseen over the next 21 hours.
I'm hoping he does.
It'd be amazing, but you know what? I really believe that they can get past Buffalo without him.
I think so too. If they keep the ball on the ground with Lamar and Derrick Henry, and they do what they've been doing for this whole season, and they rush the ball for 250, 300 yards, Buffalo doesn't have a chance, right? I mean, if we put up 30-plus points, I don't see Buffalo coming close.
I'll tell you this. If the Ravens do what they've done all year long, and that is stop the run and make a team one-dimensional, Josh is going to be pressing. Josh is going to have to put on his Superman cape, and I think that's the formula for success if you're the Ravens.
Right.
Not that he's not going to get his. I do think he will at times, especially if he's targeting 21.
Yeah.
But that's the formula.
I know. That's the thing with the Bills. If they stop our run game, it's going to be a tight game. But if we do what we've been doing, I don't know if they have a chance.
Let's make sure we reset some things.
Okay.
Let us know where you're from and what your full name is.
All right. I'm from Westminster. My full name is Zach David, and I've lived there my whole life. I got season tickets for the Ravens. Been to every home game this year.
Hell yeah.
It's fucking amazing. Excuse my French. But yeah.
Well, actually, we're right on the Canadian border, so go ahead.
Oh, perfect. So we're good.
As a matter of fact, I know that because I crossed it today just to go into Niagara Falls on the Canadian side, and hard to believe that an upstate New Yorker had never actually been to Canada, even though literally from my doorstep for the first 18 years of my life, you could drive 5 hours and be in Montreal, and I never did it. I don't know why. So today I said, screw it, with snow coming down sideways. I walked my ass right over to Niagara Falls, crossed the border, showed him my passport, paid $1 American and 4 quarters that was given to me by this incredibly nice Japanese man who was also visiting here, and that's the story of it.
Wow. No, it was cool. So this is my first time up here in Buffalo. My buddy's been up there before, but first time seeing Buffalo, Niagara Falls, fantastic. It was cold as you know what.
You guys drive up this morning?
Drove up last night, got in around like 10:30, 11. Started drinking. We're just getting a lot of compliments from Buffalo fans because, of course, we were rocking Ravens gear last night when we got here, rocking it today. But they've all been super nice. Bills fans have been super genuine the whole time we've been here. Food's been good. People have been great. So, yeah.
Zach Ertz just punched it in
No, we didn't.
from Jaden Daniels. So the Commanders are really putting it on Detroit. Let's see if
Still
the Lions.
before halftime.
I was going to say, I think the Lions have no problem answering the
I
next
don't know. If
minute
Jared
46.
Goff's out for the rest of the game,
Did he get jumped?
he's not looking good. Like
He's out?
He's still in concussion protocol right now.
Stop.
Swear to God, yeah. It's not looking
Oh,
great.
shit. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
See, that's what happens when you try to multitask a stream while also watching a game. So the Commanders are up 10 with a minute 46 to go in the first half. And you're telling me that Jared has been
He hasn't been in
in concussion protocol.
Yeah, he hasn't been in since he got that hit.
Holy
Yeah.
shit. That's
all
a big
good.
deal. That's
and
a big
Detroit,
deal.
too.
Zach,
So-
give us your prediction on your way out, brother.
Prediction on the way out. So the spread's set at 51. Ravens are 1.5 spreads. I'm not just saying this bias-wise. I think Derrick Henry rushes for 160 yards. He had his most rushing yards against the Bills
$1.99.
all season. I mean, yeah, he put up 186 last week. But he knows this defense. The Bills' defense is small. So we're going to rush the ball. We're going to run it down their throat. Unless they stop it, I see us winning by 10 points. I don't see the 1 point spread. No, the final prediction, final score prediction, I see Ravens 28, Bills 20.
28-20. Heard it here first.
20. All right, man.
Appreciate
I
you, man.
appreciate it.
Westminster's finest. Let's play some golf out there sometime.
Of course.
Love that area.
You're welcome to Piney Branch whenever you want.
No, dude, put that back on.
Yeah.
Cam Worthley?
Yeah.
That's my guy.
Yeah, he's a member there.
Yeah, Cam's my guy. I
Good shit.
played it many times. Cam and I, during the pandemic, were neighbors on Bond Street in Fells.
Okay.
And we've
Yeah.
stayed in touch ever since. He just got engaged. And I play there probably once a summer.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Dude, come out whenever you want. I'll have to give you my number before
Love
we
that spot.
end this stuff. But yeah.
And matter of
Definitely.
fact, doesn't the UFC dude belong there? Tucker, is it Tucker Lutz? I feel like a local Baltimorean who's had a tremendous career in like the martial arts UFC world. I want to say his name's Tucker.
Yeah.
Belongs there, and I saw him in the pro shop this past summer. But anyway,
If he does, I'm not familiar with him.
give
there.
him my best.
I
Give him
will.
my best.
All right, man.
Thanks, Zach.
Thanks so
Appreciate
much.
you, dude. Enjoy
Appreciate your
yourself.
time.
Yep. Zach from Westminster. Appreciate you guys for being here. Over 1,300 concurrents between Twitter and Instagram. It's a pleasure to have you guys here. Just a ridiculous showing tonight, by the way, from this NFC matchup. That AFC game, come on down. That AFC game was certainly not high scoring whatsoever, and this one's just first to 60 maybe over here. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a
Goddamn.
good game. It's going to be a shootout.
Crazy. What's going on, dude?
Not much. How about you, man?
Bobby, nice to meet you.
I'm Ben.
Hey, Ben. Where are you from?
I'm from Westminster, Maryland.
Oh, you're a Westminster guy, too. That was our previous guest.
Oh, really? No way.
Yeah, Zach. Yeah, Zach over here is from Westminster. We were talking about Piney Branch, one of my favorite golf courses, and up in the county, up in the sticks. So,
Yeah.
You guys drive down today, up today?
Yeah, we drove up today, yeah.
How'd it go?
Oh, it went good. We left pretty early, so it wasn't that long of a drive.
Yeah.
Felt
good.
like going quick,
Where would you say your mind frame is?
I'm optimistic,
Yeah.
I'm getting a lot of vibes from 12 years ago in Denver. I'm getting a lot of vibes from that.
Yeah, I mean, you had to go through the gauntlet on the road to get to
Absolutely.
where you wanted to go, New Orleans, and
I think we're stronger on the road.
it's crazy. For the superstitious people out there, it is pretty wild that Trent and Joe were both 28 when they won the
Yeah.
Super Bowl. It was 12 years apart.
each, yeah.
Lamar's 28. It's been 12 years since New Orleans. It's insane.
And we're in New Orleans.
It kind
I
of
mean,
feels fitting.
I know. I mean, if we win, the scriptwriters are cooking up something.
Well, yeah, they're already cooking bullshit up earlier tonight if you watch the first
Oh
game.
my God!
You know?
It's getting out of hand.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't want to say it's rigged, but like, They're not proving me otherwise.
They got to get a few things together on the. I think the replay assist could be a lot more useful.
Yeah, or like, let's be real. There's some sort of halo judge up at the top that, if there's a play, to see if it's a first down or whatever, there's someone at the top coming in the ref's ear saying, it's first down, it's not first down, etc.
Yeah, I would agree. I think there's certain moments that are momentum shifting, outcome deciding plays in do or die playoff games that need to be looked at. They need to be looked at, and I think there could have been a couple tonight.
Yeah,
the head-to-head contact.
Oh my God, that was absurd. I mean, you had JJ Watt on Twitter saying that was BS.
Yeah, it's just it can't. That has to get cleaned up. It's ruining the integrity of the contest.
Yeah, I mean, it's just also, if you even lay a finger on him, it's a 15-yarder.
No doubt. Let's go through some content, shall we?
Absolutely.
There's obviously a lot going on this week, and one thing the Buffalo Bills did to try and attempt, I'm not saying they actually successfully did so, but one thing they attempted to do was simulate Lamar Jackson. And what they did was bring in former
Anthony Brown,
backup Anthony Brown.
Same, though. They're completely, they have similar play styles, but, Lamar's a better player by far.
Oh, there's no question.
Brown's been bouncing around teams for years now.
And I don't think anybody's saying anything different. It's more about, is that the proper way to prepare? Here's Sean McDermott, Bills head coach, on that decision.
Yeah, plus I'm pretty sure
there's only one Lamar Jackson at the end of the day. So you do the best you can to try and simulate it. Good luck.
Brown.
Anthony Brown. Yeah, Anthony Brown helps with that. Yeah.
That explains that move.
It's probably bigger than that, but that certainly helps. I mean, the full answer is if you just put a mobile person back there when you're planning on working on the scrambles or the quarterback run game, the defensive players know, this is one of those plays, right? If you just have to sub out one of our normal quarterbacks for a mobile player like that. So, in order to hide that, what Anthony brings to the table is both. He can throw it, he can run it, and so there's a little bit more of a true, honest look down in and down out, whether he's handing it off, dropping back, or doing some of the things conceptually, at least, that Lamar does.
Bills head coach Sean McDermott earlier this week talking about the game plan going up against Lamar, and we've heard this for 7 years running now. There is no proper way to simulate him. That's exactly what he just said, and that's one of the advantages the Ravens have since they drafted this guy and made him their starter halfway through the 2018 season.
Yeah, plus I think something to consider is when Anthony Brown was with the Ravens, we were still under Roman's offense. He's never played under Monken's offense. Monken's is a completely different offense.
Yep. A pro-style offense. That's a good point. We all remember that era.
Oh.
I know a lot of us do. We also remember what Von Miller, former Super Bowl MVP during his time in Denver, had to say as well. Pump the brakes on these Anthony Brown potential preparation comments this week. Here's Von.
Lamar. How does one defend him from your position, Vaughn?
Lamar Jackson is a very, very unique player. There's no other quarterback in the history of the game that has played quarterback like Lamar Jackson. A great combination of running ability and passing ability. He's gotten a lot better passing the ball. He's one of the elite passers in the league. He's one of the elite runners in the league. It's lightning in the bottle. Sometimes you get rookie quarterbacks that they get afraid back there and they take off running. You can see him really dancing in the pocket as well. He's trusting his offensive lineman. He'll drop back, step up, drop back out, step back up, find an open guy, buy time. And he's truly an elite player. I'm a fan of Lamar Jackson. We still got to go out there and play the game.
Noticed Anthony Brown was signed to the practice squad. He's playing Lamar against you. Is that what is happening right now?
Yeah, he's gonna be a shade of Lamar. He's gonna be a shade of Lamar. He's gonna be a shade of Lamar. We can't get the full color. But he'll do a great job for us on the scout team.
Sorry, I was having a rum and
No,
coke.
go
order,
ahead.
which is
No,
important
by all
business
means. You're
here.
here all day.
Rum and
Get
Captain
what you
Coke.
need. Get what you
know,
need, man. Absolutely.
wherever my guy
Hey,
Josh is,
at
he
least
didn't
you're
get
using
that
Captain.
request
Bacardi's kind
done.
of trash, so at least you're using Captain. Captain's the right stuff.
Well, you know what's funny? It's kind of like a rail drink type of place that we're in. This is very much.
I went to Towson. I know Rec.
Okay, and I went to Loyola, and I went to the rec room.
Yeah,
many
Rec Room
times,
here. Yeah, well,
which is
yeah,
why
it's
we're
just
here
filled
right
with
now.
19-year-olds.
Absolutely, rec room, freaking B lounge. Holy shit! I'll go back to the day. But you heard Von Miller there. A shade. He's trying to be a shade of Lamar Jackson, is what he mentioned this week. In other words, pump the brakes. Nobody's truly simulating what it is to be Lamar Jackson. And by the way, during that clip, Jared Goff is back. He just threw a pick. This game is on record to potentially be the wildest first half in the history of halves.
Absolutely.
So, anyway.
I mean, yeah, you can't simulate Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is the closest thing to, like, Madden 04 Michael Vick. Like, he's literally just made out of a video game, I feel like. You know? He's unstoppable, man.
No doubt. So, it's time for you to do something for us. You know what that is?
What?
You got to share your prediction.
I think the Ravens going to win, man. I think it's going to be a go-ahead touchdown. I'm going to go Rashad Bateman go-ahead touchdown to win the game.
Wow. Okay, so you think it's going to be a tight race then up until the end?
I think so, man. We always, Buffalo and Baltimore, we always play each other tough, man. I mean, I know, I was at the game when we played them this year, and it was a blowout, but I think, I think it's fair to say both teams are not the same as they were in week 4.
No question.
I mean, our defense has changed.
Terrell Bernard, Taron Johnson, Milano were not a part of Buffalo's defense. I know a lot of the Bills Mafia is hanging their hats on that they think it's going to be different this time around. They had not yet acquired Amari Cooper. And you know what? Guess what? It goes both ways. The Ravens had the 32nd ranked passing defense.
Oh, yeah.
They had Marcus Williams that was a starter. They had Eddie Jackson that was playing out there. Trenton Simpson had not yet been demoted. Roquan Smith was really lagging because of kind of trying to bring Trenton along.
Yeah.
And
Darius Washington moved up into safety. They moved Kyle back from the slot.
All that. Marlon to the nickel. I mean, it's just been – there's been – and I think this goes back to a conversation from earlier in the year where we really need to show some love to a couple different people. Zach Orr for having the humility to be receptive to bringing in his former mentor and former defensive coordinator, Dean Pease. John Harbaugh for being the architect and the CEO of all of this, and ultimately the players for executing and having a short memory in season when things could have gone south in a hurry.
Yeah.
And so I think all those things need to be said. This was a team that through the first 2 months, I felt pretty confident that what was going to keep them from a Super Bowl run, their defense, their pass defense. And now I might feel confident to tell you that it might be the difference in a postseason run. So we'll see. Time will tell.
I also think Justin Tucker, there was a bit of that scare earlier, and he's cleaned it up, and I'm really happy about that.
No doubt. He's a part of it as well. And, of course, 22 points at one point. I
was at that Philly game. Ugh.
Yeah, the Philly game was brutal. And, at one point, the losses that they finished with, they lost by a combined 22 points at one point, and he had missed 22 points worth of kicks between field goals and PATs. So we know the story, but the best part is the story has not been yet completed. It is still being written, and it all starts tomorrow. The next chapter, Ravens-Buffalo, right here in Western New York. Brother, I appreciate you for coming on. Remind us what your score is.
I'm going to go, let's go like 35-28 or something like that. I don't know the full numbers, but I think it's going to be a tight win. It's going to be into the wire. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if there's overtime. Just like last time.
He brought out a whole tray. You did that on purpose. Thank you, Mark. Thank you. He brought out a tray to troll the hell out of me. Cheers, guys. No drinks on game day for me because it's business, but tonight we'll have a couple. And maybe a cigar once we get back to the casino.
Yes.
Appreciate you, man. Enjoy yourself. I appreciate you coming on.
Of course, man.
And enjoy this game because it is absurd
I will
right
indeed,
now.
man.
Is it halftime yet? Okay.
Yeah, it's halftime now.
Okay. Commanders and Lions finally, after a boat race of a first half, has gotten to the first half. Go enjoy yourself, dude.
I appreciate it, man.
Enjoy it. It's Towson's finest. I love it. We're here at the Rec Room, guys, in downtown Buffalo, and what a tremendous honor it is to continue to be a part of the BMORE Around Town family. Come on down. Jewel, you might be waiting a while, man. The guest lines are hot right now. The in-person guest lines are hot. Throw that sucker on. Let's do it. Man, they are hot. Still got to get that bartender on here, though. I'll tell you that, Jewel. Call her up for me, will you? Book that for me. All right, let's go.
And Mass's got to be on there.
And come on in, will you? Make yourself at home. There we go. Make sure that goes right over the headset. Oh, yeah. Poe is in the building. Real life Poe.
Oh, my God. Hold on. We got to fix it.
Absolutely love it. We'll see if that microphone comes out alive. All right.
Can you hear
Now
me?
we got to get you in here, though, because everybody wants to see your smiling face, even though, no, more towards me. We got to get you front and center. All right. So,
I look very gothic here.
Poe, it's great to see you.
It's actually the mask. That's what we call myself, the mask.
The mask. All right. So,
yeah.
Talk to us. You are here in Western New York. You're representing the flock. Why?
We are representing Section 138 and 139.
Okay.
We are season ticket holders, and we travel. That's what we do.
Well, as you can tell, Baltimore's already traveled really well, haven't they?
Oh, my gosh. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Big time. We always do.
Yeah. Now, when did you crack your first one today, out of curiosity?
Well, we were good boys. We drove up from Baltimore today. We cracked our first beer about 1:45, something like that,
Okay.
2 o'clock.
What time did you start the drive?
I think it was something like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. And I would assume, look at this, a little bit of a drop-off right here.
Where?
Oh, you can't see that. There's a bunch of LeBlanc Blues right to your left. That is hysterical. Yeah, just trust me when I say there's 3 LeBlanc Blues to your left. But
good.
But let's get back to this. So I assume you have Monday off.
We have, yeah, absolutely. You know, well, we're always off.
Okay. The day
That's
after
easy.
game.
That's the easy answer.
Okay, I got you. So talk to me about this game and where your mind frame is going into the 20-hour countdown.
Don't put the ball on the ground.
Yep.
That's all I can think of.
For starters, right?
I think for starters and enders. Don't put the ball on the ground. It's not week 4. The mask was there week 4. But I can tell you that we shouldn't put the ball on the ground. If we can win the turnover game, I think we win the football game.
You're getting a delivery.
Okay.
By a tremendous friend. I mean, that's a tremendous placement job right there.
Good job.
We got to stay hydrated around here, as am I. Yes. Was this one of your travel mates today?
He probably is.
Okay.
You know, the mask
You
is
don't even know you don't even know who's handing you drinks.
It can be
That's how you know
anybody.
you're doing well.
You know what? I just want to say the mask is a multi-man operation, and it started back at the Mile High Miracle, okay?
Okay. 12 years ago.
We were there.
And can we all...
The mask was there.
And let me interrupt to make sure that we give Jacoby his due. We
Absolutely.
had him on a couple months prior to his obviously unexpected passing.
Yep.
And I think a lot of people are showing up to Buffalo with Jacoby's pride on their sleeves. And I think the same can be said for Joe D. I think the same can be said for Goose.
Yep.
I think the same can be said for Jalen Ferguson, all of whom left far, far too early. Continue.
100%. So, Jacoby Jones, one of our favorite Ravens. Sorry, I should reposition my microphone here. I'll go like this. How about that?
Perfect.
Jacoby Jones maybe should have been MVP of the Super Bowl in 2012. A lot of people thought that, but you give it to a quarterback. We love Joe Flacco. We don't want to take anything away from him. I don't want to sound too much Trump. You know, we love Joe Flacco. We love him.
That was actually a really good impression.
We love him. He's a great guy.
45 is back as of Monday, by the way.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. So I want to put this out there to all of your listeners.
Yeah.
And like again, I say we represent 138 and 139 on the Russ Street end zone, okay? This mask has been to Green Bay. I don't just wear it, okay? It's me and my buddy. We tailed it around with us. But it has been to Green Bay, Denver, New England for 2 championship games. It's been to every home game. I want to say I don't think we ever missed a home game. Where have we been? Oh, all the divisionals.
I bet you were pretty pissed that Houston didn't hold up its end of the bargain. Huh?
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! What a terrible representative of the AFC. When we got to look, we wanted to be at home next week. I want to be staying at the Marriott, which is where the Mass stays. You know, it's where we stay, and we go down there, and I definitely wanted to be sitting at Pickles at 9 a.m. drinking a beer. That's not going to happen now. It's not going to happen now. Now I got to fly all the way to KC because Houston's a terrible football team, and they shouldn't have been there.
Let's be clear, too. They were embarrassed on a national stage on Netflix Christmas night, weren't they?
Yes, they were. By us. It was almost like, the Mass doesn't turn off a game.
Right?
But I got bored. You know what I mean? I got bored.
Let me get you out of here on this.
Yes, sir.
And we're all this is a cliffhanger right now.
Yeah, oh yeah, here we go.
We want your score prediction to the nth degree.
We get some snow, a little bit of blow there. I'm thinking Baltimore 30, 24. Bills 24.
Dude, you and I have the exact same prediction. Yes, 30-24. That's the exact same prediction. So there you have it.
Hey, I just want to say this. Shout out to Section 138. We represent you.
Love it.
138.
I love it. I appreciate you for coming on, man.
Thank you.
Best of luck out there tomorrow.
Cheers.
I think that's going to be coming very good use for you tomorrow.
We will. It's warmer in here than you think it is.
No doubt about it. And I hope you feel the same way tomorrow. I really do.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I do. You need some help getting that thing off.
Oh, no, I don't.
Because you do have the headset on. I'm not sure if you remembered that or not, but,
That's enough to kill you, man.
Yeah, exactly. Enjoy yourself. Plenty of little black blues in here to get yourself right. Appreciate you. See you around, man. See you, dude. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming on. This place is jumping, man.
I watch your podcast.
Oh, thank you. And don't forget this guy right here. Hey, how we doing? Good to see you. You too. Yep. Man, it's a revolving door tonight, man.
How's it going,
it's a revolving door tonight, dude.
It is. It's crazy.
Let the people know who we are and where we're at.
What's going, Baltimore Nation? Ravens Nation, what's happening, you guys? We're here in Buffalo. It's live here. I'm all the way from Columbus, Ohio. It's crazy.
And what's even crazier is that's where my co-host lives.
Really?
Yep. Sarah Ellison lives in Columbus. She's a former. If you're familiar with The Vault, that's our show.
Okay.
It's a daily show. Would love for you to check it out. It's a daily Ravens show from noon to 1, Monday through Friday. We do pre- and post-game shows as well. So anyway, welcome in. Remind me your name.
My name is Preston Harris. And,
Preston?
Yep.
Preston,
yes,
good to see you, man. Appreciate you for coming on. What brought you out other than your fandom?
Again, other than the fandom, it's just the vibes,
the experience, right?
Yeah, for sure. We saw the ad on Facebook, and being.
Oh, is that how it worked?
I think
you saw
so.
BMORE's ad?
Yeah. So my wife follows the Facebook page and saw that there was going to be a live event here at the bar, and we're like, well, we want to be around other Ravens fans here in Buffalo, so why not come out? It's worth it. It's well worth it. If you guys are in the area, definitely come out. Check it out right now.
I love that. Yeah, BMORE. I've done my pregame show tailgates with them for 2 years now.
Okay.
Home games.
Absolutely.
And this is the second road site that we've done. The first time around was unreal. It was London.
Oh.
Last fall.
Wow.
And so I felt pretty confident going in with Brian, having done London, that this one was going to be a good one. And I feel the same exact thing about if that happens next week in Kansas City, which we now know is the path for the Ravens. Should they want to get to New Orleans, you got to go through Kansas City first. And obviously, not getting ahead of ourselves, it starts tomorrow night. What's your thought process? What kind of concerns do you have, if any, going into tomorrow night?
For me, it's the same thing every single week. I have my own routine, my own whatever you want to call it, that I go through. First, it's the nerves the night before, nerves leading up to the game the day of, and then once the kickoff starts, the confidence just builds up. Just knowing who Baltimore is, the Ravens team, what we're about, what you guys are about. Being from Baltimore, you guys know exactly what it takes to win a game of this caliber. So again, I just bring all that energy that I can bring into the game.
You're speaking to 1,500 of them right now, by the way, and
it's wild.
And a few of them wanted to know, and I don't believe you've covered this yet. How did you become a fan?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So growing up in Columbus, Ohio, you guys could believe what type of team that I was trying to be brought up in. My late dad, brought me up as a Browns fan. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Well,
it
used to be,
Yeah, so born in 1989. I'll give you my age. Born in 1989. I was about 7 years old when Cleveland came to Baltimore. And right then there, as being brought up as a Browns fan, understanding football at 7 years old, I was like, well, this is my team now. Like, this is where they moved to. This is where they're at. And so I followed them to Baltimore. And then ever since then, like with Vinny Testaverde and all those guys, watching them from the 96 season all the way till now, that is where my fandom came from. My dad trying to make me a Browns fan, me saying, no, they're moving. This is where I'm at. And honestly, I wouldn't want it any other way.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah. At 12 years old, I went to a Browns game, had beer dumped on me in the stalls.
I love football, man. This is great.
Yeah, exactly. So you know the type of fans Cleveland fans are, and that's not Baltimore. That's not the way we are. So obviously, I'm accepted well in Baltimore, and I appreciate you guys having me, being from Ohio.
Well, that now brings us, and thank you for sharing that, by the way. I love that. And people were wondering, what's the origin story here?
Yeah, right.
But I want to hone in on something that I've been hanging my hat on, and certainly on our show for weeks now.
Absolutely.
And that is, what have you done for me lately over what you were prior? And what do I mean by that? Right here, the two columns that we're looking at. Lamar has played 7 total postseason games so far. He was 1-3 his first 4. He's been 2-1 since, and he's coming off the best postseason performance of his young career in an utter beatdown of his division rival, as we all remember, in last week's wild card game. Why I wanted to bring this up was there's still people who want to focus on the left-hand column rather than the right. What do you make of the national narrative as it pertains to Lamar in the postseason as an underachiever? And do you think that the monkey will be off his back by this time tomorrow night?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can look at Lamar's quote about it, him saying directly, I was young, I was antsy, and I mean, the stats show Lamar is 5-0 since his mom cussed him out. Yeah. I know what that's like. I know the type of pressure from your mom that she can bring. So again, like,
we can all speak of that one.
Honestly, the national narrative, because you see it on the media, you see it on all those sports shows and whatnot. Wipe those off the board. We know the type of quarterback Lamar is. And honestly, call it biased if you want, but the numbers show exactly the type of quarterback Lamar is. And what we're going to see tomorrow, again, I don't want to, I don't know how people feel about jinxes or whatnot. I don't believe in jinxes. We know who's going to show up. It's going to be MV3. He's going to be our leader. It's going to be the team's leader. And honestly, Lamar Jackson is going to be mistake-free. Absolutely mistake-free.
You heard it here first. That's a no-doubt kind of statement right there. How about it?
$100 bet.
Well, I'll tell you what. Obviously, there's been plenty of conversation regarding the weather. And I know what we can both vouch for, being here, boots on the ground, is that the temperature has already started to drop. It was a high of 42 today in Buffalo, hard to believe. Balmy for sure.
Absolutely.
Kind of like that divisional round game a few years ago when the Tennessee Titans came to Baltimore. We all remember how that ended in January of 2020. But it will be a wind chill of -5 tomorrow. That's what it'll feel like tomorrow. With that in mind, I thought it's a great time to share this clip from Ryan Clark, who on Get Up this week on ESPN said, listen, you can take this whole weather narrative and the fact that it's going to be a factor for these guys in the field and shove it where the sun don't shine. Listen to this.
Of times there were called runs on the first drive last week for the Baltimore Ravens. Here's why that's important. For an entire offseason, we talked about Todd Monken going away from the run against the Kansas City Chiefs. I believe he wanted to prove a point and prove it early. Lamar Jackson's going to carry the ball. Derrick Henry is going to carry the ball, and we're going to play through our physicality.
Justice Hill killed Buffalo the first game. 78 yards, touchdown. He's a matchup nightmare. I think they run the ball over and over and wear him down so that when Derrick Henry gets to the third and fourth quarter, you can't tackle him physically. You can't tackle him. You talk about James Cook, he's a guy that runs around you. Derrick Henry runs through you. It's a different effect.
I think that's all true, but the other element of this game is Matt Milano, Terrell Bernard, and Teron Johnson. Three of the I know you're a Raven,
Mike Tannenbaum, I promise you this. Todd Monken is in his meeting right now saying, when we go 21 and 12 personnel, if they put number 7 out there, and Patrick Ricard, if you don't park him on them damn Gatorade jugs, throw him on top of one of these heaters, I'm taking you out the game. If they do that, they will run until next week.
If that doesn't get you fired up right there, I'm not sure what does this week.
Absolutely. I mean, I think when we go back to the weather narrative, what Buffalo fans, again, no disrespect to the city of Buffalo, you guys have a very beautiful city here. The narrative that I've been hearing is that Baltimore cannot play in cold weather. And we all know right now it's 70 degrees, it's sunny in Baltimore right now. You're not used to it. Quiet it down. We know the weather in Baltimore, frozen fields. Come on. We're used to it.
Oh, they're used to it, all right. And they were preparing as much as they possibly could this week, but it just couldn't be outside because the freaking fields.
Exactly.
The fields were frozen, and that's just the reality of it. Look, I know a lot of you guys appreciate Bart Scott because of his former thumper kind of mentality when he was a linebacker in this league, particularly during his time in Baltimore. And I thought he also got everybody fired up this week with this clip.
This about the weather, though. I remember the colder it got, the more I felt like I could stand out. Because I felt like no matter how cold it gets, it's going to hurt you more when I hit you than it's going to hurt me. And I wanted to prove that every single snap. And you think that Roquan Smith is going to care how freaking cold it is? And he's going to care that Josh Allen is running the football? Because he's going to say, when I put these pads on him, it's going to hurt him more than it's going to hurt me. This is where the real men stand up. You've been living in New York your whole life. You lived in Chicago. You don't like being cold because you don't like being cold. You don't get used to it. It doesn't matter where you practice. It's about your mindset for those 3 hours. And they got coaches on both of these teams that ain't gonna let nobody go out there being soft. And I love this game for that reason. These two dudes, these two teams get to prove it in the worst elements to show what sort of men they are.
How bad do you want
it?
Right, and I'm talking about, like, we talking about, okay, what's the bigger advantage? Josh Allen being tackled by Roquan Smith or Derrick Henry being tackled by a small, undersized defense? I think the advantage favors the Baltimore Ravens because they play a brand and a personnel that is big. Where you talk about the Buffalo Bills, they play nickel package.
Moral of the story? Moral of the story is that just as Roquan Smith said this week, I expect them to impose their will early and often, win the time of possession battle, play clean football, withstand the blows. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when Josh Allen gets his. But can they minimize when those come? And can the Ravens play clean offensive football? No drag, right? Disciplined football. It's not something that we've seen consistently from them this year as the 32nd ranked penalized team and the 32nd ranked team in terms of yards that were negated as a result of said penalties. Look, I'm expecting this one to be a spectacle. I picked the Ravens 30-24. Let us know what yours is.
Again, no disrespect to the second place MVP, Josh Allen, but I see something similar to what we saw earlier in the year with Baltimore Ravens dominating with the run. I don't want to see Lamar Jackson have to throw the ball so well. We got Derrick Henry for a reason. I see something similar. Let's go 28-13, Baltimore.
Something similar?
Well,
my man's confident as shit.
Low scoring for the Bills. they're going to get a field goal there. Josh Allen's definitely going to get his touchdown. 2 field goals from the Buffalo Bills.
Okay.
13-28.
Both kickers, by the way, have struggled. Justin Tucker and Tyler Bass. Certainly a special teams topic that I think should be discussed. And aside from that, I've said this a couple times this week, and people don't want to hear it, but I'll continue to say it because it's a legitimate thing when it comes to field position and flipping the field. The Ravens are unsettled right now at punt returner.
Absolutely.
And I think Jordan Stout has been inconsistent as a punter. I do. Year 3 has been one to forget for him. And he's got a big leg.
Yeah.
So much so at times when they were trying to give Justin a break, he was handling the kickoffs.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying he doesn't have the ability, but that's just something to watch from a special teams perspective. And in these kind of games, you never know what that factor can have.
Of course. And, again, the Ravens players know their guys better than we know their guys. And if their confidence is in Jordan Stout with the holding, with kickoffs, or whatever it may be, then I trust them. I look for Lamar for approval. And whatever he says goes. And if they're trusting their guys in-house, then I'm trusting their guys. I'm not going to be that guy to go out, throw somebody under the bus. Not saying that anybody is, but I trust our guys. We're bringing the best 53 that we can on the field. Baltimore, let's go do it. Let's do it.
Dude, hell of an interview. Really enjoyed it.
I appreciate
Glad you made the trip.
Absolutely.
And I would love for you to check out the show. If you're a YouTube guy, if you're a Spotify guy, whatever it is, type in The Vault, VAULT, and you're going to quickly realize probably how many inroads you have with my co-host who literally lives in Columbus. So
absolutely.
Looking forward to that, man.
Baltimore, I love you guys. Thank you so much. Bobby, thank you
Appreciate
for
you,
having me
dude.
on the show.
Enjoy yourself.
I love you.
We'll
Thank
catch up. I'm going to finish up here soon, all right?
Absolutely.
Talk to you soon. Well, there you have it. Lots of predictions are out there tonight. And what an honor it's been here to be on the ground in Buffalo, courtesy of Brian Snyder and his tremendous team at BMORE Around Town. Wherever Julian is, I feel like I owe him like flowers or something because he was waiting forever. Manny, I'm probably not going to be able to hear you because of the club scene that I'm in right now. But if you and Julian want to come on and give one final thought going into tomorrow, go right ahead. Jewel, I'm sorry I made you wait literally an hour. You can invoice me for those hours that you just waited and waited and waited and waited. And here they are. I'm going to give them some split screen time quickly. Gentlemen, come up with a nice little concrete condensed monologue because I'm not going to be able to hear you because, again, I'm in South Beach in Buffalo. And probably more importantly, like I said, there was an undeniable energy between me and somebody else on that other side of the room, which I need to see through between now and kickoff. Just throwing that out there. Let's get the boys in here. Manny, you first, my friend. Jewel, you will. I'm sorry. You know what? I'm sorry. No.
Jewel,
Actually,
go first.
Jewel. Yeah, I was gonna say thank you. This. It's this.
I know.
Julian,
I know.
thank you for waiting. What you thinking about tonight?
Oh, Bobby. Well, I'm not gonna lie. My stomach's kind of in knots. It's a little bit of knots going up to this game. I believe we're gonna win, but I'm expecting some shenanigans to happen tomorrow. I don't know. I just a little sixth sense about these things. I don't know, but I believe we're gonna win, though. I don't know if you can hear me, but
I can hear a little bit, but I just want to kind of cut you off and say something non-football because again, I'm a little tipsy right now, and I'm just going to tell you, you got an edge up for my stream tonight. Look at you all edged up.
Oh yeah.
Who you trying to impress?
No, just gotta get cut. Yeah.
Who you trying to impress over there, big dog?
No, nobody in mind, but if you got somebody in mind, then that'll swing my way.
Let me tell you right now, there's a burning building, and that bartender's in there right now. I'm bringing one person in with me. It's Julian. I'm running in there. It's a burning building, just like Mike Tomlin said about the Ravens, which that came back to bite him, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
I'm going in there. I'm going after. Manny, talk to me before I say things that I shouldn't.
I think you already did, so I'm just going to repeat what I did yesterday.
Wow.
That is the bad. There's that belt. Look out for that belt.
Hey,
hey,
once
man.
we win, I'm taking the belt. But you know what? It's not
Come
only
on,
to
man.
the Chiefs. It's also to the refs. I saw what the refs did. I
Yes.
saw it. That's
Yes.
criminal. I'm sorry. That's criminal. And
Yeah.
us Ravens fans, we're not gonna tolerate it.
Hey,
So-
and Manny, I'll just tell you this right now: the energy that you're bringing tonight, I'm trying to wear that on my sleeves as I walk through Western New York. Okay, this mother effer Nick on Twitter, I think he's in a body bag somewhere on the road. I'm sorry to be crude like that, but he tried to come at me. Listen, I got upstate New York blood. Anybody that wants to question that, don't question my commitment to Baltimore, but don't question my former residence, my former place of birth. Okay, had to put him to sleep, and that's what we did earlier.
He probably a piss ass Steeler fan. That's all. You know, just a piss ass Steeler
Envision
fan.
the belt, baby.
Yep.
He probably a Steeler fan that's pissy. That we knocked their asses out anyway. So, fuck him.
They got bigger issues to worry about than us.
They did enjoy Cancun. Let them, let them
Listen,
enjoy their little lives over there. Anybody
all
worry
I
about
know,
them.
all I know is when I'm in the trenches, you two are coming right behind me. I mean, you might be right in front of me. Matter of fact.
I mean, I could be.
All right, fellas. I
right,
appreciate
Bobby.
you, and we'll do it again tomorrow. Just so everybody knows, I will be outside Highmark Stadium tomorrow from 2 up until 5 o'clock or so. All right?
All right, Bobby. I'll see you
Catch
tomorrow,
up with
man.
you
All
then.
right, Bobby. Good
Thanks
luck.
for your
Manny.
patience tonight, gentlemen.
All right, man.
Catch up with you later. And that now brings me to an in-person interview. Come on in and get comfy, brother. How you doing, dude? Bobby, nice to meet you. Rashawn.
Yep.
Nice to meet you. Introduce yourself to my audience. We got 1,600 people looking at you right now. They want to know your story, your fandom story. I'm seeing a filthy old school Maryland jersey from you right there.
yeah,
So you
for
must
sure,
have Maryland. Was that at the pyramids? Why does that look like that was?
This was in Peru.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was in the Giza pyramids.
No,
Yeah, show if you don't mind too. Show up top of the up here. Look at that. That's a filthy cover photo right there.
Yeah.
And look at the old. Is that Len?
Huh?
Who is that? Len?
Yep.
Len Bice.
Yep.
Dude,
Len Bice, man.
That's a filthy photo. Where in Peru is that?
Huh? It was south of 3 hours south of Lima, Peru. I forgot it was a little town that was called.
The only reason I ask is my sister studied in Chile, and I visited in 2018 in Santiago, and we flew in and did we flew into Lima, and then we took a bus to Cusco for Machu Picchu.
Yeah. I didn't do Machu Picchu.
But that's not
I went
Machu
to
Picchu.
Cusco.
Yeah.
No, I didn't do that. I didn't have enough time. I only did did 5 days over there, so we didn't experience Machu Picchu. How you would pronounce it?
I got you. Anyway, hit me with your fandom and where you're from.
I'm from Baltimore.
The story behind your fandom.
Story behind my fandom.
And what part of Baltimore?
I'm from Northeast Baltimore
Northeast.
originally. I actually grew up 3 blocks north of the old Memorial Stadium. So
And look, we already got people recognizing you in the chat.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's my. Yeah.
Tick Pompey says Pompey says I recognize his face.
yeah. They probably know me. I'm a frequent call on 105.7 The Fan.
Oh, you're Rashawn from The Fan.
Yeah, I'm Rashawn. Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
And the reason why I was able to hit that is because I listen. I mean, not all day long because I'm broadcasting myself, but I like Vinny and Haney. Those are my guys. Not that the other shows aren't fine. I enjoy their banter. I think Bob is one of the all-time historians you will ever come across in Baltimore. And then Vinny, say what you want about him. I get it. He pisses some people off, but his acumen, his experience, his front office perspective, that's also unique to the market as well. So anyway, Rashawn from 105.7 The Fan. Let me reintroduce you to the audience, Northeast Baltimore's finest.
Yep, Northeast Baltimore.
Talk to me about your fandom. I mean, you really had no other choice now that I know where you're from. What else are you going to do?
Yeah, well, I got an interesting story, though, because 1992, 93, I became a diehard Cowboys fan. And, just seeing them, watching them on TV, win the Super Bowls every year. So that was my team growing up, right? So when 96 came, when the Ravens came, I didn't let the Cowboys go. But, I embraced my hometown team and everything. So up until this day, I still root for the Cowboys.
Man, this is cracking me up because, again, there's certain times where I'm listening to the fan and a caller will start spewing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of like multitasking.
Yeah.
When I tell you, see you, Brian. when I tell you that this is like registering for me right now, that's hilarious.
Yeah. So
This is yes. You always talk about Dallas, and then they fuck with you a little bit, right?
Yes,
about
all
your
the time.
Dallas
Yeah,
fan. Like
my
Jeremy
guy.
gets after you,
Jeremy,
right?
Yeah. Jeremy is crazy, man. My man Rob Long, Ed, and all of them, So
I was gonna say I should have mentioned the Big Bad first because that's a great crew.
it is.
I'm just saying for my money and also where I am during the day, I'm typically working out. Then I don't like to listen to the radio when I'm working out in the morning. So when I'm preparing for my show and I have a little bit of time, it's in the 10 o'clock hour.
Yeah. Well, see, I'm up. I get up. I got to be at work 6 a.m. So that's the first thing I turn on in the morning.
You got a call time at 6?
No, I got to be to work at 6. My regular job, my job. So I'll be to work.
That's what I mean. Your call time is 6.
6 a.m. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So I'm up 4:45 in the morning.
What do you do?
I work for BG&E.
Okay.
So I'm a lineman for BG&E.
Okay.
So
so that's
Yeah. So I'm out there.
Hey,
So,
that non-commute schedule though.
Yeah.
That non-commuter, like meaning non-rush hour commuter type of lifestyle.
I love it.
Get
I
behind
enjoy
that.
It. I enjoy it. 6 to 2:30. So.
Dude, when I was in radio, I had to be in at the same time, and that's the one thing I when I left, I was like, oh damn. Grocery stores are packed when I'm going.
Yeah.
Mornings are hard to get to. Like 9 to 5 is not for me,
Yeah, that rush hour traffic 9 in the morning, man. 8:30 in the morning every day, man.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So you were in the radio before? You were in radio before?
98 Rock and WBAL.
Okay.
Yeah. I took over for Keith Mills when he retired. They brought me in, and man, I looking back on it now, I was so lucky that Keith. Talk about historians. I think Bob, cut from the same cloth as Keith. He went to Keith went to Linthicum. He's been an advocate for high school sports in the Baltimore area for multiple decades, and I think just like anything, right? When you enter into a situation where there's been a long-standing legend, it's tough. You don't know what that transition is going to be like. Man, he couldn't have been more open. He couldn't have been more welcoming to me. Really? And so it was an awesome experience. Long story short, as I get on a freaking monologue, that's how I started in the Ravens radio industry in town. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I've been listening to sports talk since 2004, actually, when I started my job, and I was just flicking through the radio, being in the truck all day, and I was, used to listen to WNST.
With Nestor and everybody.
Yeah, Nestor and them.
Yeah.
That's how I first
Nestor he doesn't like me.
Really? Yeah.
No, I don't like him.
Nobody likes him. I had nothing good about this guy around the town, man.
Here's the thing about him. And honestly, he's never done anything to me that makes me stop and want to freaking gouge him. There's nothing that he's done. It's the petty bullshit that he does. It's the comments. It's the shit talking. It's the running his mouth. But then I look at the big picture. He has literally torpedoed his career, his image, his reputation in town. And to me, it's a bona fide embarrassment.
It is.
And again, I wish him the best. This is no ill will. I'm just talking facts. This is what's known throughout the market. And ask the two professional teams what they feel like in town. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying I'm Mr. Mr. Goody Two Shoes in town. No way. Far from it, matter of fact. But, hey, get in there. Let's go. Here we go. What's going on, you two? Hey, did you guys get after it in there? You take advantage of the open bar?
Yeah.
You take advantage of the open bar? All right, good. I'll see you tomorrow. Oh yeah, Bryson. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, that's my guy. That's awesome. See you, brother. Appreciate it. Man, I'm actually kind of glad that they showed up because I was getting on a little bit of a tangent there. Again, it's nothing against.
You think you're leaving out early?
I'm just talking about what's kind of known within the market. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, nobody and I follow him on social media, so all he do is post everything about how the Ravens banned him and everything and all this other stuff. So
listen, that's a woe is me kind of mindset. I don't know how we got on the tangent, but it's a woe is me mindset. That's not me.
Yeah.
And at times I felt like that with the way the Ravens have kind of pushed us, kept us at an arm's length since I went in the non-traditional space. And of course I've done a few things that I think pissed them off internally, and some of that I probably got to rein in, and then another part of that's I kind of want to stand 10 toes down on some things.
Yeah, you got to get integrity, man.
I respect what they have to do, especially from a PR standpoint. I get it; they have to protect their people, and ultimately, people that have a platform, you have to evaluate them, and you have to make sure that certain things are vetted and whatnot. If there's one thing that really bothers me, it was the whole blockage last year, not allowing Todd Monken to come on our show, even though I had a direct relationship with him. But anyway, not to get on a complete tangent, let's get back to the important stuff, and that is why you're here and what you feel special, what you feel inside of you right now about this team that's got a massive opportunity to go back to play last year's knockout. Is this time around it's going to be at Arrowhead?
Yes.
What are you feeling going into this divisional round?
I'm actually glad that we're going to beat them, have the chance to revenge them up in Arrowhead. Like this Chiefs team, if you can see this season, man, they've been barely skating by, man. A lot of lucky wins. This has just not been they had the refs on their side too, you can see most of the season. So okay. Yeah, it's like the refs been on their side. Pat Mahomes haven't been playing like the great Pat Mahomes he's supposed to be, but they very beatable. And I think once we beat Buffalo tomorrow, we're going to go Arrowhead, and I think we're going to blow them out. It's not even going to be close. I mean, at least about 10, 15 points, I would say. I just feel as though, this team is special, man.
You feel confident about that?
Yeah, with the acquisitions of Derrick Henry. I was a little skeptical at first. Like, oh, man, we signed Derrick Henry. He's kind of older in age, man, but this guy's a blessing in disguise. Like, I was just saying last week, I was talking to my boy Trippy, man. I was like,
"Oh, Trip, I know he's here.
He's on his way." Yeah,
I know he's in the house.
Yeah, he should be coming in. He should be coming in the door any second now. Actually.
Oh, is he showing up?
Yeah, he's showing up. Yep.
What the hell is he? FaceTime, will you?
Huh?
Yeah, FaceTime right now.
FaceTime.
Let's get his ass on here, because he's DMing me asking me where the hell I am. I said, "Where the hell are you?"
Yeah,
it's 10:30. Come on, Trip.
Yeah, he said he'd be late.
Trippy's doing news hits, probably. That's what he's doing.
Yeah,
Let's FaceTime his ass. Get him in here. I wish I had his number. I'd call him.
I mean,
what's everybody doing out there? Oh, we got a guest, too. So while you call him, let's get Big Raj in the building as well, because he's looking like he's ready to roll. Raj.
Hey, what's up? What's up, Bobby?
What's going on, dude?
What's going on? Tell Rashawn I said what's up. That's my guy right there.
What's up, Raj? My guy. What's going on, bro?
Let's make sure we get Rashawn in the picture here. There he is.
Hey,
Herbo all day, baby. Mervo day,
you're
man.
Mervo guy.
Mustang.
Okay.
Yeah, Mervo guys.
I'm class of 03. I think you 04, right?
05.
04.
05. Raj, where are you at right now?
I'm at the casino. I'm downtown.
Oh, you're at the casino?
Yeah, I'm chilling.
Yeah, it's like you out and about.
Which one?
Yeah. Horseshoe, the Horseshoe.
Oh, Horseshoe. You're back home. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. I didn't
Good,
go.
man. Hey, let the people know where you're at tonight. Give us a sermon.
Oh man, I'm at the Horseshoe. It's pretty much chill down here. We watching the Commanders, play the Lions. Their Commanders are hanging in there. They're doing that thing right now, which is cool.
What's the score?
31-28.
Oh my God.
Yeah, 31-28.
Dude, that first half was absurd.
Yes, sir. But Bobby, tell Brian Snyder I said what's up also.
I will.
Yeah.
Absolutely will.
I'm up here with Bobby, man.
Oh, wait a second. Here comes Trip. Trip, where you at? You ready, Raj? Watch this. Hey, Trip, listen. You got 1,600 people that are looking at you right now. Where are you at?
1,600.
Show me that block that you're at. Chippewa. Oh, how do you pronounce that again? Chippewa.
Chippewa
and what?
Should be out.
What's the cross street right there? Show me. I can't hear you. Show me the cross street. What is that? I got no clue where this guy is. Come on, rec room, Trip. I got a drink with your name on it.
Should be outside. Look like he walking right up. Yeah, he walking up now.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Okay, all right, cool. Cool. Tell him our B Lounge in Towson. You remember that place?
We upstairs. Come upstairs.
You bouncing? Hey, Rob. I'll probably Uber. I'll Uber back. I'll probably Uber back. I'm Ubering back. Fuck it.
You came up with
Oh, let's go. The Mexico flock. That's right. You and I met. That's right. Where did we meet? Where was it that we met? You and me. Let's go. Hey, I want you to come on the show in a second, okay? Okay, give me 1 sec. No, you don't want? Okay, all right.
You don't want
all right, Mexico flock in the building. You sure? You can come on next.
Man.
That's awesome. Oh, man.
Camera shot, man.
Well, you know what I would guess, though? And I say this respectfully. The last time I had him on, I don't think he's confident in his English, even though I wish he was, because I can speak a little bit of Spanish. I can help him out. But that dude traveled from Mexico to be here. Anyway, sorry.
Oh, he lives in Mexico now.
Oh yeah.
I thought he was just.
Yeah, he
living
flew.
here.
I think he might have flew in. Anyway, sorry, Raj. There's a lot
No,
going
you
on
good,
out
you
here,
good.
including Trippy trying to find the damn bar that we're at right now. But hey, let us know. I'll leave you with this. I want to know your mind frame going into tomorrow. We're under 20 hours out. But what I want to know from you specifically is the impact of not having, assuming that he will not play, Zay Flowers out there from a misdirection standpoint, the jet sweep stuff, and just solely based on the eye candy that he presents opposing defenses.
Well, I will say this. It is going to be a tough task without Zay Flowers this go around because the last time they had the game plan for him. And I think what Harbaugh was trying to do throughout the week was they was trying to throw him off a little bit to make sure that they, that he might play, he might not play, but more than likely he's not going to play.
Gamemanship yesterday. Gamemanship.
So what the Ravens need to do is they need to hit him in the mouth early. They need to hit him in the mouth quick, fast, and in a hurry. Make him go down 7-0, put the pressure on him through halftime, and then come out and then get him up out of there. If they do that, I think they'll easily beat them. But if they don't do that, it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough, Bobby.
How about some light work 87-yarder to the house on the opening possession? That might work too.
That definitely could work. If we can get that Derrick Henry from last week, that can definitely work. But
No
I think it's going to be a tough game, for the Baltimore Ravens. I think they're going to kind of need this type of game. They really don't need to blow them out. They need to be tested because once they win this game tomorrow, we already know what's going to happen next week. And next week is where you're going to have to play the Chiefs. You're going to have to play the referees, and you're going to have to, do some other things. But I got the Ravens winning 31-24. I think
31-24. Okay, cool. Raj, I appreciate you, man. Obviously, as you can tell, it's rowdy out here, so we're catching kind of every other word. But I got your prediction. I appreciate you for calling in. Go win tonight, and we'll catch up with you later this weekend. All right,
Bobby. One more thing. Check your Instagram. We sent you a message too, by the way.
Okay, done.
Check your Instagram.
Appreciate you, man.
All
later,
right,
brother.
man.
Big Raj from Horseshoe Casino getting after it. Let's go. Oh, what kind of trouble? Which one? Hey, but I told. Get down here. Get down here. Get down here. Okay, yeah. Tell Brian. Tell Brian. I need you to get that headset in right here. No, you. What do you mean? What kind of trouble? Wait a second.
All right,
nobody's heard you though. So
right.
tell everybody what you were just telling me.
All right, so last interview you did, you interviewing Jimmy, and I'm behind you with 2 shots of goddamn. Can I cuss?
Sure.
I'm behind you with 2 shots of Patron. I'm not going to give them to Jimmy, and he give me like this, and I'm like, it's a Super Bowl group chat, and everybody was like, Marco is just always on some shit, and I'm like, come on, man, y'all know I own bars downtown. Like we have fun. Like,
wait, I just got to make sure. And I'm sorry if it actually created havoc for you, but I did this. I need everybody right now watching over 1,700 to know that when Jimmy Smith, after the regular season, prior to the regular season finale, went like this,
right on.
Okay, this was on the other end.
This was definitely the other end.
But I just want you to know though that I was sure to tweet everybody that asked me about it that you guys came in together. You were with Jimmy Jr. You're like an uncle figure to him, aren't you?
Yeah.
And by the way, what's your name?
Marco.
Bobby.
Yeah.
Okay. This is hilarious. Do you know how many people go in that? Clearly you do.
Yeah,
but the amount of people that were hitting me up about that.
Art Jones hit me up about it. Arthur Jones.
Come on.
Yeah, oh my God. He called me. Like, it was. Like, don't. That's why just don't let me go outside. Just don't do it. Like, we're going to have fun. You know.
Dude, that shit, now that I have the context and we can put it all together.
Listen.
That shit kills me.
Shout out if anybody in the Baltimore area. I own a bar called Where I Met Your Mother in Fells Point. And I just brought Riptide, opening that up in 2 months.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
You just bought Riptide?
Yep.
Is it closed right now?
Yep.
Oh, this I did not know.
Yeah, it closed. Wednesday was the last night.
Where's How I Met Your Mother?
That's on 1901 Gulf Street. It used to be called Happy Hour with Heaven and Neighbors, but I named it Where I Met Your Mother because
Upper Phelps.
Yep.
Okay.
Like and I'm. Ooh, I can't let that one out the bag.
All right, that's fine.
But I used to own mugshots in Federal Hill.
Yep. And you and Jimmy got acquainted together how?
Oh man, shit. Like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was doing stand-up comedy.
He's good people. I mean,
Yeah,
love
and like
that guy,
we
man.
became like brothers.
I love
You know,
that guy.
He sleep on my couch. I sleep on his couch when I'm in Cali.
I love it.
Yeah,
Well, I was really pleased to know during that interview that I hadn't known that he's coming back.
Yeah, he moves back in June.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good,
Hopefully he get a job. Like he need a job.
What do you think he's gonna do?
Hopefully something on the coaching staff. Like
Think so?
Yeah, get the fuck off the couch.
Well, the passing defense could have used him a couple months ago.
Definitely could have used
They figured that out early.
I
Figured it out.
think he can still play. I mean, look at Tony Jefferson did it.
Tony did it successfully.
Tony did it successfully.
So much so.
Like
He might make an active roster next year.
If he don't, I would be surprised. Shit. Like
Think about that. You go from a full-time scouting intern for Eric
and go to the Chargers and go from trying out practice squad, starting squad.
And in the playoff game, he had a forced fumble, couple tackles for
and
loss,
a recovery of the
recovery. The dude was all over the football field.
Tony, if you see this, call me. I need your Super Bowl
Well,
tickets.
shit, the way you're going, everybody's going to be.
Oh yeah, it's just bad.
Everybody's going to be seeing it.
It's bad.
Wait. So tell us about the Super Bowl chat. Tell us
can't
about
do
the
it.
Super
Can't
Bowl
do
chat.
it. Like, I
got to know about it.
I got raped out for it real bad.
But not about.
Because like we all been hanging with each other since like 2010. Like we know each other like we like brothers, all of us. I'm
Sure.
just like the only one that didn't play.
But you're getting blasted in the
Oh
Super
yeah,
Bowl
yeah,
chat?
like because like everybody like don't let Marco get outside. like because I got money and I have fun. Like I'm a
Okay, so in the chat though, ripping you was Jimmy, Tony, or no, was Tony in it?
Anthony, everybody on the Super Bowl team.
Co-caps in it.
Yeah, Anthony got me. Who else?
Anthony Levine, Jimmy,
Art,
Arthur Jones.
Yeah, he definitely got me. Yeah, I'm trying to think who else was it.
But who
'Cause
else
I'm not
is in the chat?
I'm not in the chat. The whole Super Bowl team was in the chat. You know?
But the video made its way to the chat.
Oh yeah,
and then next thing you know, it's
Jimmy said it was more about me than him. Bullshit.
Listen. I am so glad this all came full circle.
Yeah.
I know you're not, but I'm just so glad that I have the context now.
You know,
What the hell
tell
happened?
Ravens, give him a job.
Oh, that's hysterical. All right, so Jimmy's going to make the staff, basically.
Yeah, he better. I mean, as good as he is, I would think you would want him on the staff. 11 years on the field.
Yeah.
That's that's knowledge. Most people play 3 to 4 years.
Yeah.
But listen, let me get out of here before I say something that embarrass me. All right,
What are you doing the rest of the night? You going back? You going in here?
I mean, I'm gonna be here for a little bit.
All right, I'm going to pop in there in a little bit.
Yeah, like after this, I can't say on camera.
Well, if I get my way, you might.
Take it easy.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you. Oh, that's cool. You guys all remember that moment, right? From the Jimmy interview? Oh, man, that's funny as heck. This place is just starting to get going. Marco owns Riptide now. Wow. We're in a kind of a Riptide scene right now, to be honest with you. What's that Detroit score, guys? It's that commercial break right now on TV, so go to ESPN. Wow, Washington's trying to close this thing out on the Lions, huh? 38-28. Can you imagine, based on where Detroit was last year, if they dropped this game? I mean, that would be nothing short of heartbreaking, would it not? Wow. What's up, dude? Man, we've almost going 2 hours. Holy hell. Chris says I need some water. Excuse you, Chris.
Yeah,
that's
yo,
right.
Can you hear me?
It ain't Ghost, but it'll do tonight.
Okay, so would it got in a Red Bull or something?
Nope.
Okay. All right. So what you doing, old fashioned?
I had an old fashioned to start, and then
okay.
One of my Mark from behind the scenes here at BMORE popped over with a Captain and Coke. So we're keeping it kind of Towson rail-ish drinks right now.
Okay.
Talk
Just
to
wanted
us,
to
though,
pop
brother.
in.
What you got
Just
going
wanted to
on
pop
tonight?
in. Yo, I'm just wanting to pop in real quick. I was been kind of going back and forth about the Ravens game tomorrow as far as the score. I think the Ravens going to win for sure, but I think it's going to be lower scoring than we might expect. I think it's going to be like 25 to maybe 21, close scoring. It's going to be a cold game. It's probably going to be windy. So, as long as we control the ball, don't have no turnovers, defense stays sound, we'll be all right. We'll be all right.
Yeah, I think you speak for a lot of the fan base. It's it just feels it's easy to say this. It's kind of cliche to say this, but it feels like it did last year. There's a sort of an unwavering optimism. It feels like that's trickling all throughout the fan base.
Yep.
But the one difference is instead of one closer, you got two of them, and
we got two.
And that second closer is not only healthy, 100%. But as I always say, he's an ascending player at 31.
Not only is he healthy, he's also hungry too, though. You know what I mean? Derrick Henry body been through more than we can imagine. So for a guy like Derrick Henry at this stage in his career, everything that he's dedicated, his discipline, his sacrifice, the way he eats, the way he sleeps, it breathes and is football. So for a guy like Derrick Henry, these moments, his window is closing more and more. So Derrick is hungry.
Dre, say that last part once more.
I said Derrick is definitely hungry. Derrick ready to eat.
They got bigger fish to fry, and I don't think Buffalo's able to fry him. I just don't think, and I get it. Johnson and Bernard and Milano, Bills fans are hanging their hat on the fact that they weren't around the first time around, and I get that. I respect that, but I do think
won't make a difference.
Well, I think it'll make a little difference, but not enough to truly ground this ground game.
Yeah,
that's where I'm at.
That's for sure. What time you going live tomorrow, Bobby?
So the tailgate gets going at Danny's South, which is 0.2 of a mile from Highmark. And it starts at 2. I'll probably get going at 3-ish. And then from there, I got to Uber. So I got to be careful tomorrow because the last thing I want to do is get stuck in traffic and not be able to get back to the hotel for the game. Because as everybody knows, I think I've mentioned this, I don't go to the games because Sarah and I go live and we have to make sure we go through our note-taking process and whatnot. So, So I'll probably go about 3 to 5 and then immediately get in the car and race across town via Uber back to my resort.
Okay. All right. That's what's up. Well, I'll check you out on here tomorrow, man. You be safe tonight. Go ahead and have you a good time. I wish you could have got that bartender on there because the way you were saying, like, I would have loved to, you know what I'm saying? I would have loved to see it. And shout out to East Baltimore, Barkley Street and Greenmount, North Avenue. That was where, that was my upbringing or whatever. So,
I appreciate you. Look, I think I'm still in the fight. When we finish up here, I'm going next door.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But I've got enough years in me at 30, Mr. Wise Guy.
Right.
I have enough years in me to not get fooled by, how should I say this?
Say it.
Okay. A little cat and mouse game. What I mean by that is when I walked in earlier, I was the only one, and this is for copyright purposes on the show, I was the only one not wearing purple or Ravens. But we're in this separate area of Rec Room, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so to be in this area, you have to be part of the BMORE Around Town group. And so the first thing she said to me was, as I went up to the bar, how come you're not wearing your purple, in a very flirtatious way?
Yeah.
And I told her. And then she starts leaning over the bar. I'm like, I've been here before. This
you already know.
This is not something I'm trying to do right now. So anyway, that's that.
I want you to have a good time. Don't overthink it, Bobby. You be trying to play Sometimes it is checkers, bro, with these women. Sometimes it is checkers. It ain't got to be chess all the time, bro. You be making it a chess game. Sometimes it's checkers. Think about that sometimes.
It's my personal favorite when you go inside my mind. I love it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Dre,
Yes, sir.
be safe out there, brother. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, bro. All right, y'all be safe.
Dre Dog, down south, baby. What a fantastic night to been. It's 2 hours running now, and I think it's about time for me to jump. Really appreciate you guys for being a part of tonight's broadcast. This Detroit game obviously is insane. The Commanders are 11-plus minutes away from going to the NFC Championship game with a rookie quarterback. And this rookie quarterback has put up 38 points and counting. So, what an exceptional – wow. What an offensive performance. I feel like – damn. I feel like for sure this is one of the great rookie runs that we're watching right now from Jaden Daniels. Like I mentioned, tomorrow's pregame show will be an expanded one. It'll be a little unique too, so mark your calendars accordingly. It's a 6:30 kickoff. I'm probably going live at some point in the 3 o'clock hour, and then I need to cut it short. I'm not going to bring it up to the kickoff as long as I usually do because I have to drive or Uber 40 minutes from the site of the pregame show to where I'm going to watch the game. So just everybody is aware of that. That's what we're having. And, of course, coming up on the postgame show, Sarah and I will be with you sometime in the 10 o'clock hour, depending on how long this game is. If you want to support the channel, if you want to support this Buffalo road trip, if you want to throw some gas money around, you know the drill, whether it's the Super Chat feature, Venmo, or Cash App, or any of the three, or all the three. I appreciate it very much, and I appreciate you guys for all the love and support that you give me all football season long. I hope you're enjoying the eve of yet another opportunity for the Ravens to show what they're about on national primetime football, which is exactly what they're going to have a chance to do coming up tomorrow night at 6:30 here in Buffalo, New York, where I've been live from Rec Room over the last couple hours. Thank you to BMORE Around Town. Thank you to Rec Room. Thanks to all of you who showed some love tonight. Thanks to the Super Chat donors, Darren Alexander, David Kewer, of course, even though he likes to get after me, Jeremiah Hoagland, Tons Lee, and Craven the Bunter. Thank you, guys. Have an awesome rest of your night. We'll catch up with you soon. And boy, oh boy, get ready for a wild 24 hours and a lot of coverage, including a bus ride back on Monday morning while I'll be going live right here on YouTube inside the vault for our Monday day after Ravens lunch hour live stream. I'll talk to you guys later.